everyone, we're at it again. Today I am going to show you how to make some homemade beef jerky without a dehydrator. Okay, we're going to make this in the oven. It's very simple. So all you guys out there that want to make beef jerky but don't have a dehydrator, I'm going to show you how to do it. We're going to put it in the oven. We're going to cook this at about like 190, but it's going to take a while. It's going to take, it could take 3 to 4 or 5 hours. It all depends on how thick you cut your steak. Okay, all right, so let's get on with this recipe. Just a little rundown here like I always do. We have some soy sauce, some light soy sauce, just to control the salt content in it. You can use regular soy sauce if you want to. We got some teriyaki sauce here. We got some cayenne pepper for some heat, and some red pepper flake and smoked paprika. We got a tablespoon of light brown sugar, about 2 large cloves of garlic. They're just chopped. They're not, you don't really have to mince them. You can just chop them, so kind of go for that maybe. It's all up to you, however you want to do it. And we have a tablespoon of honey, and we have the choice of meat that I am going to use today, which I am using a London broil. Okay, it's a tough cut of meat. It's perfect for this. There's not a lot of fat and marbling in this, so that's what you want. You could also use an eye of the round, which would be perfect for this. And you're going to need a Ziploc freezer bag to put the marinade in, a bowl, a whisk, a couple measuring spoons, and that's about it. You're also going to need some cooling racks or some baking racks. Okay, so we have our meat here. Like I said, I'm using a London broil because to me this works out. It actually works out perfect because you really don't have to. You really don't have to cut. I like my beef jerky like in strips, right? So if you cut this in half and then cut it in strips, it's perfect. It's exactly how you buy it in the store. Okay, 1 second. I'm just gonna turn around and grab some paper towels. Now, I didn't salt this. I didn't do anything to this. You see, and I just basically just took it right out of the package. That's how we do this. A lot of times when I do different cuts of meat, we always get it salted and put in the refrigerator. Okay, so there is a little trimming to do on this. So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna just take off some of the fat on the end because we don't need any of that. Okay, just like that. All right, I think that looks good. All right, you're gonna be surprised on how easy that this actually is. Okay, so if you look at this piece of steak, the grain pattern runs kind of side to side. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to, now you know what? Hold on 1 second. Got a little bit more trimming to do. Okay. Because I don't like fat in my beef jerky. Okay. So the grain pattern, okay, runs left to right. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to cut it long ways, which is perfect. We're going to cut it like this, and then we're just going to cut it just like this. Now, I just want to let you guys know that when you cut your meat, it should be relatively thin. The thicker that you cut your meat, the longer it's going to take to dry down. All right, so instead of being like, maybe a 4-hour kind of dry down process, it could take longer. So here's about the size that I like. Okay, so we're going to continue with this, and we're just going to cut all this up, and then we're going to start the marinade. Okay, so we have all of our meat cut up. It's about as simple as that. Okay, there you go. So here's our meat for our beef jerky, and let's get going on making the marinade for this. For the ingredients, we're going to bring in just a small bowl and a whisk, be very handy for that, and a measuring cup. Okay, we're going to do a half a cup. This is for about, I don't know, was it 1.8, so I figure 2 pounds roughly. Okay, hold on 1 second. Get this other soy sauce in here. So this is the base for this particular. This is going to be a teriyaki, sweet and spicy. I don't think I said that in the beginning. So that's what we're going to make today, beef jerky. Sweet and sour, or sweet and spicy, I guess, teriyaki. So there's our 1/3 cup of that. We're also going to do a 1/3 of a cup. Well, it is Sunday, so all right. So we're doing a half a cup of teriyaki and a half a cup of soy. So this is just equal parts. So if you did, you know, a cup, it'd be a cup and a cup. 1 for 1. Okay. There's that. And then we're going to turn around and we're going to put our garlic pieces in. We're going to put in our brown sugar. We are also going to add the honey. Just like that. Honey's always a problem, right? Okay, so we'll do that. And then we're going to get on with we're going to put our cayenne pepper in, which we're going to do, so I like it kind of spicy, which this is going to be pretty spicy. It's almost a tablespoon of cayenne pepper. That's definitely you're definitely gonna feel that. So if you don't want it really spicy, just add a half a tablespoon. It's no big deal. And then we're gonna do 1 teaspoon of red pepper flakes, like that. And then we're gonna do the smoked paprika. We're gonna do a half a teaspoon, a heaping teaspoon. That'll give just a little bit of a smoky flavor, which is, it'll make it appear like it was, I don't know, maybe done on the grill or in a smoker, which is always a nice flavor. Okay, so that's all of our ingredients. We're just going to mix this. Just going to whisk this up, make sure everything's incorporated. It smells fantastic. And you could taste this before you know, you put your meat in it, just to see if you need to add anything else to it, or let's see. Ooh, that's the way I like it. I like it spicy. So again, cut back the cayenne pepper if you don't want it spicy. Okay, so we're going to set our marinade aside, and now what we're going to do is we're just going to, I told you this is a very simple recipe, okay? Now we're going to take our almost 2 pounds of London broil. We're going to stick it in the bag as such. Let's see, like this. And then we're going to add our marinade in. Just be careful, don't spill it, you know, kind of thing, right? Okay, so make sure all your marinade's in there. Now, it depends on how long you guys want to leave this marinade in here with the beef, because the longer you leave it in, the more potent that your beef is going to be. Okay, so I like to, sometimes I leave it in for 6 hours. It depends on what kind I make. Sometimes I make different kinds of beef jerky, but, you know, this is all preference, and any of those ingredients that I just showed you guys, you could always, you don't have to stick to that. That's just what I do. So this is very loose, as you can see. There's a lot of marinade in there, and all I'm doing right now is just making sure that all of the pieces are cut, or not cut, but just not sticking together. So I just kind of play with it a little bit like that, and it's nice. You can see, and you can even just put it in a big glass bowl like this and just put a top on it. You don't have to use a bag. I like to use the bag just because you can get the meat. You can just put it in your refrigerator exactly like that, and it's all kind of evenly coated. All right, so that's it for getting your beef jerky rolling. Okay, we're going to stick this in the refrigerator for I'm only going to do about probably 3 hours on this, just because of the ingredients that I have in here. I don't want it, like, you know, super potent, but I do want the flavor of everything. But you can do 6 hours on this. You can even do this the night before. So you can put it in the refrigerator, take it out the next day, put it on your racks, set your temperature on your oven for 190, and just let it dry down. It'll do its own thing once it's in there. And we'll bring you back to show you that after 3 hours, exactly what the next step is. Okay, we will see you soon. And our marinated beef is pretty much as far as I'm going to take this, which is normal for me. Like I said, you could do this overnight. You could do it for 6 hours, 3 hours. This is about 3 hours, and it's soaked up most of the juice. You see a little bit laying in the bottom of the bag. That's totally fine. Not a problem with that. So we're just going to set this aside. I'm going to stick this on this side here. And as you see here, I've got some cooling racks, okay? And this is what we're going to put the beef on. And under this, I have some paper towels, just so it catches any kind of drippings as I put this on the rack. Now, depends on how wet this comes out of the bag. What we're going to do is we're going to dab some of this beef, which it does look like there's going to be some wetness to this. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to get going with this. This is the only part that may be a little bit messy, but that's okay. All right. So you can also, if you want to, you can also, what was I going to say? Yeah, you could also spray your racks with, like, you know, Pam, some kind of cooking spray or something, and that'll help prevent some of this from sticking, okay? Sometimes what we'll do is I'll take some of this beef jerky just like this. So we're just going to lay it out just like this. Going to dab it just a little bit, and this will drain onto the paper towels underneath. And then when we're done doing these strips like this, it's very simple. It's so much cheaper than, you know, it's so much cheaper than buying it in the store. So that's why I make my own beef jerky. Plus, you can do it any way you want to, right? So it's just like this, okay? So what we're going to do is we're going to finish this up. If it's too wet, you can dab this with a paper towel. I'm going to continue to do these 3 racks, and these 3 racks should be enough. This is what I mean by it could be a little bit messy. No big deal though, because it's worth when it when it comes out. It's definitely worth doing this. All right, so I'm going to finish up doing this here. We're going to get these in the oven, and it's going to be anywhere between 3 and 5 hours for all this to dry down. And then I'll be back with you guys, and I will show you exactly what this looks like. Stay tuned, guys. This is going to be, if you've never made homemade beef jerky, this is a recipe for you. So this is how much beef jerky I got. I got like 2.5, yeah, about 2.5 cooling racks done. All right, you can dab them a little bit with the paper towel, or you can just bang the rack like that. Let them drip a little bit so it don't get all over the inside of your oven. And if you want to, it's totally up to you. You can do some fresh cracked pepper on it. And sometimes I just put a little bit on when it's wet, because this way it sticks, right? So just quickly put a little bit of fresh cracked pepper, just like that. You don't have to overdo it. You put as much as you like, right? Okay, so these are ready for the oven. These are going to go in the oven at 190 degrees Fahrenheit for 3 to 5 hours. So just let it do its thing. Now, there is one thing that you do have to do before you after you put these in, and that's just simply you have to put a wooden spoon in the doorway. Okay, so let me get these in. This just vents the top of your oven. Okay, where is it? There we go. It just vents the top of your oven, leaves it open. It makes the humidity inside, the moisture, kind of escape a little bit. So that's what you're going to do. Okay, so the beef jerky's in, and we're going to let it go, and we will see you back here when it gets done. All right. Okay, so I just took the beef jerky out of the oven, and this now is what it looks like. Just like that, right? Yeah, there we go. I don't know why I won't. There we go. Okay, so this now is what it looks like when it comes out. You see it's real dark right now, which is what it does because it's got the brown sugar in it, and it's got the teriyaki sauce and the soy sauce in it, and it's got the honey in it, so it makes it a little bit dark, almost like a crisp top to it. But either way, it's phenomenal. So what we're gonna do is we're just gonna, there's probably not even a need to do this, but we're just going to take this off, plate this up a little bit. Not that I would consider this plating anything, but so I tried a piece of this already. It is very spicy, but like I said, that's the, that's the way that I like it. So if you don't like it spicy, just cut back on the cayenne pepper and use like half the cayenne pepper and half of the red pepper flakes. All right, so that's what we got here. And then just this other small tray that we did. All right. This is a awesome snack. Love the... Okay. Let me clean my mess up here for a second. Okay, so here we go. Here is how I make beef jerky, or at least this kind of beef jerky. Boy, am I going to edit the shit out of this, right? Okay, so here is how I make my beef jerky, or at least this particular kind. If you guys like this recipe, put a thumbs up, share, and subscribe if you can. That'd be great. And we will see you in the next video. Beef jerky.